Well, welcome back to Club Tweed. This is the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championship Open Pairs final round. They play 3 rounds today in 3 sections, and then the best scorers there go in to win each section, so it's separate. The group we're watching this afternoon are Skip George Gibson with Graham Potter, and the other skip playing is Leon Dwyer and Dave Tomlins. The two Rabina pair, George Gibson and Graham Potter. And the other two gentlemen, one from Cleveland, which is Dave Tomlins, and Leon Dwyer's from Pialba, up at Harvey Bay Way. These teams have played in Section 1 their 2 games. George and Graham are 0-2, and Leon Dwyer are 1-1 in their games. The 3 leading pairs, or the leading skips in each division. In Division 1 is Doug Kleinhans, a local. He's won 2 matches. He's got a margin of 19. In Section 2, Gordon Wood has won both his matches, and he's got a margin of 7. And in Section 3, Colin Bray has won both games and has a margin of 25. Unfortunately, we can't see them from where we are, so I'll try and keep you updated with their scores as we go. Joining me in commentary this afternoon is the man himself from Goodrich. It's Roger Goodrich himself. Looking forward to a good afternoon of bowls, Roger.
Yeah, certainly. The level obviously is lifted as we get to the pointy end, and be very interesting to watch this game.
The 2 leads have put their bowls down now. The skips, Leon Dwyer and George Gibson, go back to play their bowls. George is in the Rabina Eagles shirt, and you've got Graham Potter carrying the Queensland State Team logoed shirt. Certainly like to thank our 5 sponsors that have helped us put this together in terms of the live streaming. That's Goodrich Australia for all their bowling apparel, shirts, clothes, all that sort of stuff to wear. They make it and they sell a good product. Tailor-made bowls, lawn bowls and the accessories that go with it. Max Australia for their canopies and covers on greens and supporting shade structures. Hunter Bowls out of Castle Hill in Sydney. Everything for bowls, including some of these bowling arms for sale. And Club Tweed, been a great host, wonderful greens, and they've helped us as much as they can with their administration staff for this event.
Well, we start now, and I'd say that one counts. Put that down.
That was a good bowl by Leon. This is George putting his forehand down. George has got the handside XG size 4s.
Unfortunately cut a bit there, but I'm sure he'll correct.
Here comes Leon. Leon's bowling with the Green Masters. They're a good size 5. That's cut across the head as well.
He needs a bit more oomph.
You can see there's a little bit of breeze blowing from left to right as we look at it. It's been fairly shallow, the breeze today, and it's certainly not any more than 5 kilometres an hour at this stage. But there's a lot more, Roger, there's a lot more break as we look at it on the left-hand side than there is on the right-hand side on the green as they play it.
Absolutely, yes, it's quite noticeable.
This is Graham Potter, commonly known as Percy at his home club. Not quite sure why, but I'm sure someone will text in and tell me.
I'm sure there's a bit of a background story to that. He might be a punter. Percy the punter. Yeah. Good weight.
And he bowls with a Henselite Fusion size 4. Now for Dave Tomlins. He may have sent that out just a little narrow on what he wants.
Yes, I think so.
He's got the Super 10 Premier. No, size 3 though.
Well, that's unusual. That's you don't see too many size 3 with the men in bowling up.
No.
But he might have his issues, and therefore he needs a lighter bowl. Well, cutting the head a bit, wee bit. Good weight though, wasted weight.
So we've got one blue ball just sitting in behind the jack. The second one may or may not be in a challenge for second shot.
Yeah.
Unless it's got weight, that's going to cut as well.
Yeah, but I think he might have the weight to come back onto the kitty. No, he hasn't. Oh.
Well, he's bowled 3 with perfect grass there, right in behind the jack. All right, they play 12 ends. The way they score is you've played 3 games today. They were cut into divisions after yesterday's 3 games. You have 12 in the top division, 12 in the second division, and 14 in the bottom division. And to win that, you've probably got to win all 3 games in the division, and it goes to margin. After margin, then it goes to ends.
The grass looks much better with this one coming in. Yeah, just overweight a wee bit.
Well, a little unfortunate. It's a pretty good bowl, that one. Now, certainly Leon picked up from the first 2. The first 2 were well wide. The breeze helping it come in from that side. Now for George. We've only got 2 bowls on the left-hand side of the jack as we look at it.
Yeah, you're right. It's all been cutting. They're just not taking that grass.
Take a couple of ends. Just,
Oh, of course it does.
Every rink's
You've got to
different.
get used to it.
Rightio. Probably 2 down. Need something else in here.
Got to work off that now.
Right, so Leon from Harvey Bay's come a long way down to play here. It's a good, probably close to 5 hours travel to get down here.
Oh, he's a good supporter of these games. Yes.
Good finishing bowl.
Yeah.
So the one behind shot. That's second shot.
Yeah.
Now we've got to judge between these 2. I wasn't quite sure which one was in here.
Only 2 by look. Oh, I don't know how many fingers have
Yep,
put down.
just the 2, I'd say.
Just the 2.
So 2 to the boys from Cleveland and Puebla. That's George Gibson and his partner Graham Potter. Sorry, the other way around. That's Percy there.
We'll stretch this one out a little bit. Just see what happens. The wind's blowing a bit now. It's come up, which it usually does as the day grows longer. Yeah, I don't think he wants that one back. That's pretty good on that length.
We thank the Queensland Arm Bowlers for their participation in their state championship. This is the open pairs, so not just men playing, both mixed as well, and well organised by the Maroon Arm Bowlers Association, who did a lot of the organisation here. They also picked the state team and go ahead and pick the national team as well. The national finals will be played here at Club Tweed later in the year. So those that are picked in the team have all had a bit of experience on these greens.
A little bit of history on that one, that we felt that Marber was going to be finished after the Nationals, and they've had the committee meeting, and there's been a few members have put their arms up, or their hand up to be on the committee. So that means that Marber still lives and will hopefully continue to live. It's been going for 10 years now, and we'd hate to see it finish.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes.
The Queensland are defending champions. They won in Warrnambool last year.
Yes.
Prior to that, Victoria had won every session. However, the first couple of years there was only New South Wales and Victoria in the contest.
That's very true.
Now going the narrow hand. With a little bit of weight, looking for that shot bowl just in behind the white bowl, and may just get it.
Oh.
And has.
Excellent bowl.
Wants at least one, maybe two.
Yeah, I think they might be looking at two there.
Now for George. Well, that's well directed, all dependent on weight now. And they
Might
make
run
those,
through a few bit.
they make those gaps for a reason, don't they?
Yeah, especially for bowls.
So we'll keep a little bit of an eye on that rink beside us, rink 2. Heather Hodgson, who is the skip in that game. She's running second in this section, section 1. Doug Kleinhans is leading it. So I'll make sure we keep an eye on what's happening over there, because that'll be a big part of who wins section 1 today. There's prizes for the first 2 places in each section, 1s, 2 and 3. And we'll see a little bit of that scoreboard in the background. It's not able to be seen at the moment, but when the bowls are up the other end, or heads up the other end, we can see a bit more of it. All right, now for Dave Tomlin's coming down on the narrow side again.
Yeah, if he gets under this, he's got a great bowl. Oh, a little bit of help from their
Got a
friends.
little slide, don't know if it's enough. It's hard to tell with camera angles up here.
Yes, it is. It is.
Depends on the weight, should turn a little if it's got the right weight.
I think he's building off that. Oh, assisted.
Thinks it may or may not be shot, so it's close. Good bowl by Percy. Now for Dave Tomlins with his Super 10s premiers. Only size 3, so this wind may move them around a little bit. Not at that pace, they won't. So definitely one of the Rabina lads. They had a good year this year in the Taylor Challenge. They won the, I'm going to say the silver and the gold division.
Yes, they did. Yeah, it was a great competition, and I was fortunate to play in the bronze. I skipped the 4s in the bronze. We went up there, and we're only a couple of shots off for getting into the final. So we did pretty good for some old people.
Central Queensland team that won the bronze, from memory? Maybe Bundaberg or somewhere up there?
They were just winners right through. They just ripped everybody apart as they went to and they ended up playing Macleay Island.
Okay.
We beat Macleay Island, and then Macleay Island, obviously it's always on the pluses and minuses, and But yeah. Well, it was a great competition, as you say, and Taylor's put it on, and they did a wonderful job.
Tweed had a team in the Diamond Division, the top division. They had not a lot of success, unfortunately, but I think one of the other Gold Coast teams did win that division. It was maybe Musgrave Hill?
Yes, we did. Being my club, yes, we did. Yes. Yeah, we've got some top-class players in our club, and it just goes to show they're the ones that usually bring home the bacon.
Okay, George trying to draw this in with the backhand. He's just underweight.
No, not going to happen.
Got one bowl in there of his own, which is the one who's looking to move into the head. So
Leon, he wants to go one way. He keeps swinging his hand. He's going, can I come that way or should I go the other way?
Dave's trying to talk him out of it, is he?
Yeah. Just tell him one thing.
Well, they've won one and lost one. They margin of 7 in their win, and they had a margin of 7 in their loss. So
they're all square.
They're where they started the day.
Yeah.
In terms of margin.
Time to have a crack at it.
It's on it.
He's got it.
Does he get the jack as well? Ooh. Still the bowl out to the left of what we see, I think, shot.
Could be, yes.
Where do we go now? Where does George go now? He's looking at playing his bowl at short and left as he plays this shot in the backhand. Either roll it in or come in under it for another.
We'll see if he can do it.
So if they're talking that way, I've got to say that shot's probably not second shot if he thinks he has to roll it.
Well, he's given it the right space. A bit unlucky there.
Yeah, he misses a bowl, he gets it.
Yep.
If he hits a bowl flush, he gets it.
Yeah, and just got it on the side.
Just the one to Potter and Gibson.
Mm.
I went down and had a little chat to all 4 of them before we started, and I sort of emphasise the fact that the microphones aren't close enough for them to be picked up, so they can use basically whatever bowling language they want to use.
Yeah, they can, but we can't.
Apparently not. You might only get to use it once.
True.
Okay, we're going to a short end. Let's see what happens here. It'll be tight on this side.
Oh, yeah, that's just too tight, surely, unless he's got edges. It's not too bad, actually. Have a look at that.
Yeah, he's got the old fusions.
Yeah.
He's only been bowling with an arm for a year and a half. Graham?
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of mates. Like as I say, I coach, and like you say, a year and a half, I would say I've put through at least 15, maybe even more. And they can go out on their first game and perform, and that's what gives them the confidence. And once they've got the confidence, they're away.
Okay. Well, Dave's been at it a little longer. He's had 3 years' experience.
Yep.
Mind you, Skip Leon's had 14 years. You don't know what's going on by now.
No, well, Leon, I played against him many years ago up at Mooloolaba.
Okay.
And it was one of the toughest games I've had for a long time. And I just got him, but it was a great game. And that would have been crikeys. Good 10 years ago. But he's not a well man, but he keeps coming back all the time.
Okay. Well, he would have been using the arm then.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait there. Let me think.
Well, he said 14
Yeah,
years.
it could have
with it.
been. Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
Would have been,
Yes.
would have been early on with it.
Yes, he was.
There's George.
Oh, just went through. And Ozzy, what made you take up bowls?
Well, funny story. I had a golfing friend who was playing at Burleigh Heads, and he rang me up one day after he'd played and he said, "You've got to come down and have a game of this. It's pretty good fun." I said, "Oh, okay, I'll come down next week and have a roll." So he lent me a set of bowls. I got down there and had a roll. I said, "You know what, I'm in."
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You get bitten by the bug.
Well, we learned in a good way as we watched George bowl one down here. We played 3-bowl triples. There was about 12 golfers, so we had 2 groups of 3-bowl triples to play,
Yes.
and we played 7-7-7. So
Yeah.
you learned how to lead, how to play second, and how to skip, and it was a very good way of learning to play. Whereas a lot of people, I think they just go for the lead for year and a half, 2, and the trouble is they sort of lose the enthusiasm because in some ways the fun part is knocking the bowls out of there, or drawing the shot when you need to, which is exactly what's happened here. You knock the bowls out of there and you draw a shot.
That's exactly how it works.
Well done to Leon.
Yeah, well, I guess you picked up the science pretty quick.
I quite enjoyed it. Look,
Yeah.
I just played socially for about 6 or 7 years. I was 10 years at Burleigh. And then Barry Lester came on as the bowls coordinator there, and he was into playing Premier League.
Yes.
So they developed some Premier League teams, and I played in the Reggies for 3 years.
Yes.
Really enjoyed that opportunity. And they're still very strong, Burleigh, in the Premier League division, as they are still in the Talamade, in the Diamond section. They were strong. And I still occasionally go down there and have a game, but I live a fair distance from there, and I had a medical incident as we watched Percy bowl, backhand, and I wasn't allowed to use a vehicle for 6 months, and it was difficult to get there and back.
Oh, okay.
It was 3 buses to get there and 2 buses and an Uber to get home. And I went, that'll do me, I'll need to go somewhere. And I went to Helensvale, and they've been extremely accommodating. It was a little bus trip and the train and walk over to the rinks and back.
You can't knock that.
And I wake up in the morning, it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, freezing cold, you're playing undercover.
Yeah,
So
true.
you play.
It's a big plus.
Yeah.
Great plus.
So I've got some good friends down there now.
Yeah, well, I know some of my good friends have got bruises on them after playing.
Not from the Helensvale lads, surely. Yes, Graham, that's in the area. Sorry, that was,
Okay,
that was
let's
David's bowl.
tighten
Graham.
this
Sorry,
head
David's
up.
bowl.
Let's tighten it right up.
Yeah,
Coming
Graham's
in nicely.
Going to put a bit of
yeah,
action
got
on
the
it.
girl. Got the girl. Where's it gone?
The shake of the head is not going with him.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Teammate George has gone,
Not happy.
so good now. I seem to play weight onto that bowl, so he must be holding a few because that's fairly wide of the jack. Gone nowhere near it.
This doesn't look half
Oh, he
bad.
chalked the bowl. He used his arm and put the chalk on his arm, and
Oh, you thought he was down.
I thought he was pointing that bowl to play onto it.
Yeah, well, it's pretty hard to tell from up here, isn't it?
Well, he just put the chalk on the arm and
Yeah.
stretched the arm over the bowl to mark it. So
Well,
you're
that's
bending down.
interesting.
Clever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the next part that needs to go on a bowling arm, somewhere where you
Yeah,
can put the
that's
chalk
right.
or the marker
A chalk
to attach
attachment.
it. Yeah, yeah. Could be the ultimate accessory. Oh, George. These two are looking for their first win of the day. They obviously went well yesterday to get into Section 1.
Yeah, and then the wheels fell off, obviously.
Things haven't happened for them.
This isn't too bad. Oh, just didn't
Almost.
quite get past it.
Got to be close to second shot, though. It's hard for him to draw in now because he's a big chance of turning that bowl over playing backhand.
Yeah, it's on.
So David Tomlins is asking
No, it looks like going forehand.
asking Leon to play forehand.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how the jack's going to move over in that direction.
No, I don't think so either, but if it gets... No, not a good result.
So George is looking to turn his own bowl over into shot. No prizes for being narrow though. Yeah, even
He's not
useful.
up
Can we
again,
get
is he?
there?
No, not there.
Does he want to play it? I think that might have been 2, but I'm not 100% sure. Hard to see the indications because they're facing away from us. Yeah, the one in there close to Jack, and I'm going to assume that one out on the right-hand side was second shot, not the bowl from George. It was in short. Rightio, 4-1. They play 12 ends, as they've done with all games yesterday and today. There is a time limit of 2 hours. I think all games have actually made it under the 2 hours. Some have still been playing the last end when the buzzer's gone. We've had a good run on the television screen. There's been 5 games we watched, and all games have been decided on the last bowl of the last end.
Yeah.
Which is unusual.
Oh, yeah, but it's good bowls. Good bowls. Shows to show the level, the standard of the arm bowler fraternity. That you can, because a lot of these that are in this all expect to win because it's a high-profile state
It's a state
result.
title. It's a state title.
State title.
Yeah.
So to get that sort of finish means that, we've got some good players up here.
I like the fact that your pairs is played so that no one actually gets eliminated. It's actually scoring over the 2 days. So all of these players that are playing, we've got 3 full greens here, are all mixing with each other for the whole 2 days.
Yes.
You have the knockout side. By the time you get to the middle of the second day, there's 6 people left here.
Yeah, that's very, very true because they can't win, they don't come back. But also you've got to understand that Marlborough is a fraternity and we welcome new members to come and join the association. We have games once a month all around the place, and it's a great day and great mateship. And it comes right underneath. What a top bowl.
There you go, Percy.
Oh, Leon's had a little look at that. I think we know what he's going to do. He'll come down on his backhand. Sorry, on his forehand.
He's going to smash that greenmaster in there and terminate it, you reckon?
No, I think he just come down his forehand, knock his own up, come across and sit the other one.
I know he's a little bit indecisive there. He might be going playing backhand.
Yeah, well, that was the first shot. Then I looked and I said, no, I think the forehand might be the shot. Let's see if he proves me wrong. Yeah, he's more or less playing to sit.
It's in a good place.
Or take the kitty. Or come off that.
Oh.
In the head. Good bowl.
George is coming the same direction, especially now that Leon's got that catcher in there. I don't know if I'd be so sure about that.
Yeah, well,
he's eased off it.
Well, he
He's
hasn't
worried
got
himself.
Hasn't got the weight.
Yeah, well, he's worried about dragging the jack back to Leon's last bowl. And the other thing is that on that hand, you've got more distance to travel with the bowl, so you've got to give it a bit more effort than coming down the narrow side.
You certainly do. And that's exactly what Leon's done.
He's in the area again.
Oh.
Well, you know what? You couldn't have got a worse result with 2 good bowls you put down there.
Yeah, but still, they've got 6 bowls to go.
Yes.
There's,
But both of those, the bowls deserve being shot.
yeah. Now, if this tucks in...
Round the back's all right.
Tucked
Round the back's all
around.
right. You can play some weight now.
Yeah.
Up to Graham Potter, his partner, though, to play enough weight there to drag it back to George's bowl.
Yeah, well, it's there to be done, isn't it?
I look at the flags in the background, still quite light, the breeze.
Yeah.
There are a couple of clouds around. There's some blue areas of sky, so the sun is out.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful day.
Typical winter weather up here, sort of in the mid to high 20s. A little cool overnight. It's now getting down to around 12, 13, maybe 15 right by the ocean. Don't know why we live here, really.
No, either do I. I came up here in '84, and people have said to me, "Oh, you do much surfing?" I said, "I've never been in the surf in 40 years." I haven't. Yeah, just never got around to it. Had too many other things to do.
Oh, yeah. What's Dave done
Coming
here?
in.
Dave's blocked it up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how he gets around that front bowl of yours, George. You see over on the next rank, the score is 1-all. They've only played 2 ends, so that's the person that's running second in this division in Section 1. That's Heather. There's a skip over there.
Yeah, Heather Hodgson's had a bit of a history with her health. Where a couple of times she's been, unfortunately, had to use a
Defib?
wheelchair.
Okay, wheelchair. A different defib.
But she now
Beautiful
is
bowl.
back again, and she plays a beautiful game.
Here we go. Watch him with his stick. He's
Yeah,
Right,
interesting.
no, we've missed it. There it is.
Oh, that's how he marks.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, that's
I thought he was pointing to that bowl to take it out.
that's Leon.
Yeah, it's Leon.
Oh, he's a poser.
He's only
God
doing it
bless
for
him.
this
I
end
like
while he's
him,
on
love
TV,
him.
that's all.
Yeah,
Only because he's on the stream.
yeah.
He doesn't normally do it. It's
No,
only
he
'cause
wouldn't
he's
have
on the stream.
said, I want everybody to see how I use it, yes.
It looks a little narrow, but it should have enough weight to get into the head here somewhere. So they're 2 down. Well, it's all up to you, Skip. We're only 2 down. Get in there and do something. So George is going to sit back and wait till Leon bowls his first before he goes down the other end. I've got to say, what we've seen on the screen in the pairs the last 2 days, there's only been 2 or 3 occasions overall that the leaders called the skip to the head to have a look at the head. Most of the time they understand or believe what their partner's telling them.
Yeah, well, you've got to have confidence in your opposition, in your partner.
In your lead.
Yeah, and you've just got to have confidence.
Righty, up the narrow side.
Got the weight?
Just draw weight. Is it coming in?
Got the weight? No. Yeah.
Ooh, don't know. Don't think it's changed anything there. I think it's still 2. Now what do you do, George? Yeah, I think he's looking at coming off the inside of that outside bowl.
Yeah, try to bump the other one up.
Yeah. It's got to play enough weight to be probably nearly half a metre to a metre over to get the angle off that bowl to get back to the jack.
If he pulls it off, it'll be a great shot.
Well, even if you hit the bowl flush, it's not going to knock it in. You just don't want to clip it on the outside. I think the bowls on the inside are both against him as well. Or certainly one of them is. All right, let's see what he can do with the XGs. Looks a little narrow from here.
Gets through the gap there off that. Didn't have the weight to do that.
All right. All right. That makes it harder for Leon though, because that was a path Leon came in with his last bowl.
It's still there. Oh,
All right, he's asking for something around the back.
wants him to put a bit of insurance in.
Well, not easy to predict what's happening here, but he's come round the back, as asked by his lead.
No, he hasn't made it.
Only just round the back. Oh, do you send a thunderbolt through there to take the jack?
Yeah.
Breeze is against you though. It's blowing the bowl to the right as they play. Look, you could go something with weight through the guts here, and if it's a bit narrow, it can bounce off the other bowls and ricochet into the bowls on the other side. A bit of a zigzag to get in there.
Well, I've seen that
Cause a bit
happen
of havoc.
before.
Yeah.
Gives it the right weight.
Doesn't look much more than draw weight. Now he needs a little slide off these bowls, not solid
knock
contact.
that in.
Right. Well, those two are in, that one and that one. Well, you're watching the third game of the last day of the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championship Open Pairs. They're cut into three divisions, Division 1, 2 and 3. So there's a third shot. This is the Division 1 game. Unfortunately, neither of these pairings has won both games. They pay prizes to the top two in each division. Not quite sure. I think you said 3 down. So that would be another 3 to Skip Dwyer. We'll get a good look at that scoreboard up there when we get down the other end. And they're bowling from the clubhouse, and that's quite protected from the breeze. The breeze has gone a little more southerly in the last few hours. Be a sou'easter now, coming out of the left-hand side of our screen. But down where they're standing, there'll be hardly any breeze at all. You can even see how much that jack has moved from right to left as they bowl it. This comes out into the exposed area where the breeze is. A little bit of grain on the grass. Right, send it out there. Give it some width. Dave Tomlins. He bowls in the Cleveland area. Good path, just doesn't have enough weight to get there. Not a bad opening effort. Graham Potter going up the narrow side. He's got shot. Okay. Oh, I must be feeling a bit of breeze down there, swirling around the clubhouse. Well, just enough to knock his into shot. Well, can Percy come back? Knock his into shot. Playing down the narrow side. Breeze is a bit stronger now, so it'll hold it out. Okay, big thanks to our major sponsors this week. They've helped us put this live stream together. Goodrich Australia, for all your clothing, apparel you need for the game. Bowls, Taylor bowls, the lawn bowls and accessories to go with it. Max Australia for the covers and the shade cloths that go around the outside and over the top of some of the greens. Hunter Bowls from Castle Hill in Sydney. They look after everything you need for bowling, including some bowling arms they have to match some of these players. And Club Tweed. Thank you for allowing us to play on your greens and use your clubhouse facilities and your help in administration to help the group that put this event together. Wayne Turley and his staff responsible for a lot of that. That looks a little narrow from Leon and probably a touch underweight as well. We've seen very few players walk onto this rink and actually play enough width on that side of the green. Normally takes them 3 or 4 ends. There's a wayward bowl. It's got a mind of its own. Generally when you put one of those down, they're always jack high. Not always in the count though.
That's true.
That's only the second one we've seen in all the streaming in 4 days. Well, that'll be shot, Leon. Righto, George. Well, he's got the little bit on the right side this time.
Yes, he has. And he should come around.
I'll tell you what, it's nearly, might be just through, it's close.
So they've got a bit of a chance.
I've had a few just thinking Robina there. The boys have had a bit of a change at Robina. It was not that long ago that Helensvale took over Robina Bowls Club.
And hasn't looked back since.
No, they've let the bowls section run themselves, and they've actually run the club from Helensvale in terms of the looking after the facilities there. They put a lot of money into upgrading the machines and the kitchen, and I think they've done something with the toilet area now. And most recently, in the same sort of frame of mind, Broadbeach is looking after Mermaid Beach.
Yes, that's the latest. That is the latest.
And unfortunately,
I'd like
they've
to see that the clubs that are financially viable are able to help those that aren't financially viable.
Well, unfortunately, we sent greenkeepers from Helensvale up to Robina. Now they've chopped them and taken them over to the Mermaid Beach Club. So we've got to find some personnel to work on the greens up there. And I think Michael Turner's gone there, who did some time at Burleigh Bowls Club.
Yeah, someone to move around a bit. We've just changed our greenkeepers. Musgrave Hill. And, so we're going to see how it goes. It's only recent.
Righto, Graham, what have you got here? The line's good. Through the gap on the inside of that bowl.
Yes.
Oh, he's perfect.
Moving kitty
Magician.
and a stop. Now, who
That's
said
it.
that can't be done?
That's there.
Who said that can't be done?
As I said, there was 3 sections in this, and the leaders in each section going into the final. In section 1 is Doug Kleinhaus. He's a skip. They've had 2 wins and a margin of 19. In section 2, Gordon Wood is leading that area. He's a skip, 2 wins and a margin of 7. And in the Division 3, it's Colin Bray with 2 wins and a margin of 25.
Excellent margin.
Yeah, another win, and I think you're saying there. Well, the next 2 behind them have had 2 wins in the margin of 14 and 13. So any sort of victory there is probably enough to get Colin home in section 3. Section 2, there's only 2 that have had 2 wins, and the margins are 7 and 3. So they're not guaranteed either of those, unless they win, of getting in the top 2. I think there's also a win and a draw in that division. They could go ahead and win the whole section if neither of those teams wins.
That's in. That's another one in.
Yeah, I don't know. Touch the tell on the camera. I think definitely the one behind is a shot.
Yeah.
That one on the right-hand side as we look at it, maybe second shot.
Well, 4 bowls to go.
And then in the top division, you've only got 2 teams that have had 2 wins. That's Doug Kleinhans and Heather Hodgson. And their margins are 19 and 9. So Doug's in the prime seat there if he can get home this afternoon. And this is his home club, so he'll know the greens well.
Oh, well, this can be an advantage, definitely.
Well, the fact that they play on sort of 3 different greens today
Yeah.
helps a little because some local knowledge does go down well. Righto, Leon. I think you might be down to that back bowl, so you've got to get into the head here.
Crack.
Not moving a lot, though. Not moving at all.
Got it.
There's the wind.
Yeah.
And
Did he
it's,
get it?
no, I don't think he does. I think that's gone to one of George's bowls.
Shot.
See, that hardly moved up the line then.
Did. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the wind.
Yeah, the
Folded
wind.
up.
It's only,
He could have
it's only
just got to twist it in the grip a little bit, stand up.
oh, that's something else we've got to learn with those things, is it?
Oh, yeah, just stand them up or you turn them, whichever way you twist them. Certainly helps on a heavy shot.
Okay. I'll have to put that down on my notes for when I get to use one. Probably not that far away either.
Yeah, well, they're easy enough to use. You've got the bowls.
Right, if you're going to go through that avenue there, you better have a bit of weight on it. George doesn't seem overly concerned about where it's going. Oh, he's knocked the other one in. Well, George, backhand draw here to a metre and you've got 3.
Davies, please come down to front reception. Al Davies, please come down to front reception.
There we go. Almost into the shade.
Yeah, well, he needs to get the score, so it could be.
Oh, this is too narrow.
Yeah, that's not a good bowl.
Okay. 2 to the Gibson pair. Well, making a little bit of a comeback, 8-3. I've probably only got another 10 to 15 minutes and that shadow will be right on the line. It'll make it a little more difficult for them, but it's going to make it a lot harder for us. We won't see the bowl coming through there.
You're not wrong. It is hard, very difficult.
Especially that they've got 2 black bowls and a dark blue.
But it is more difficult for the actual bowlers there. So it throws you out a bit when you're trying to bowl through the shade.
Graham's looks a little narrow, but I'm not so convinced after Leon's last bowl that went down there to take the jack.
It depends on the gust of wind.
I think coming this way, the last half of the roll as the bowl slows down, there's not as much breeze. I think it's going the other way, you get a bit more breeze.
Away she goes. Still. You can see the wind against the bowler's clothes.
Just under it, and it's great. Oh,
Yep.
it was just about to go down and give it a little tag, that one. You skip. Dave's got the Super 10 Premiers, size 3, so let's see what he does with these things. Wind should knock them around a little bit.
Well, he gave it plenty there. He's coming back. Pretty sure.
While we're at it, I might thank the Maroon Arm Bowlers Association for their input in the competition over the 4 days here. It's been well organised. They go from here to select the state teams. They had a meeting yesterday to select a number of official positions. And it's great to see the support they're getting from not just the local bowlers. George has sent it out a little wider.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Here it comes.
Yeah, she'll come on.
Chasing.
Come on.
That'll be good enough for shot.
Yep. Number one.
Now, either Leon's picked up not his bowl to put it in the things, or he's picked up a bowl that he saves as his last bowl. I'm not sure. Some bowlers have that, don't they? Have one bowl they want to use as their last bowl.
Oh, yeah, yep, that definitely happens. Not only arm bowlers, but bowlers.
Not that superstitious, are they?
Well, I've never ever entered in my head to, I reckon all the bowls are the same, but just a little bit of superstition, yes.
Yeah. That's got to be narrow. Turn his back on it. Got the head down, looking at the ground, shaking the noggin. I don't know if that'll help too much.
Yeah, just saying to himself, why did I do that?
I think his lead up the other end's asking the same question.
Well, how's your weight?
Here we go. This is either got the bowl or it's going to sit the jack. Got the bowl.
Yep, that helped his case.
He may have knocked that bowl far enough back for the other back bowl to count. So looking over the second green with Heather's score, I see a 5-1 scoreboard there after 4 ends. Was 1-1 after 2 ends.
Don't know who's 5.
Oh, I think Heather, as I looking at the number of bowls still on the green, and she had less bowls left than her opponent.
Oh, right, okay.
Percy just snuck it through the back there, a little bit overweight, better than short. All right, Dave, what can you show us?
I think you're going to show us something.
It's a good weight, it's a good line. It's only good enough for shot.
Yeah, he certainly shows.
That gives them at least 2. And if that back bowl is better, it could be 3. Because that blue bowl of George's just got turned over. When it was shot, it's gone back. Good couple of bowls. I think it's got a bit of weight on it. Not anything like the last one's good.
Yeah, that's the hardest shot in the book.
Yeah, Yeah, that's when you can write your name on the front of your hat.
Yeah, good point. I tell you what, not going to be far off it.
Get the pen out.
Yeah.
That's definitely in the count. That's 3, maybe 4. With an 8-3 lead, it's time to put something in there. In these games, because they're only 12 ends, you get a break of 6 or 7. It's very hard to get it back. Graham just checking out the distance between the front bowl and then those back bowls to see if it is 4. The look on his face wasn't encouraging. That's a little wider. It will swing.
Yeah, it will come in. It's got the right weight, dropping.
Well, it's certainly cut a few out.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to say that's second shot. Well needed. Well, Leon will try and sit that. He's already sat it out once. He sat the other one out with a shot. This one's second shot, see if he can do it again.
Coming home.
He's deadly.
He's coming home. He's got it.
Oh, that's deadly. And knocked it right out altogether. Could be 5. Certainly 4. Uh-oh, George, you need something here. Looks a little narrow. Has it got the weight to hold that line?
Narrow, he's got a good bowl. No, the weight.
Oh, that might have saved him, that 5th one getting in. I think he said don't cut the head.
Yeah. Oh, he does want to.
Yeah, but it's negatives.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all you do is say to him, turn around onto the light blue bowl. That's what we're looking for.
Well, he did. He just said that just then.
Yeah,
Second thoughts.
but you don't need the other.
Told him to come back to the right bowl. Be far off it.
I'm going to say that's a counter.
Yeah, I'm going to say that is too. They go well.
Oh, I think he said 5.
We get a handful. Going for 6.
5, 6.
I heard 6.
Oh,
6 is the.
well,
That sort of helps a hell of a lot.
well.
Yeah, Leon is
Yes.
smiling.
Yes. So now what you're looking for is they have the possibility of winning 2 out of the 3 games. There's only 2 people in this division that have won both games.
Also, the other 2 lose.
So there's 2 prices to be paid. So you're hoping that one of those 2 teams doesn't win their last game, and you can mount a margin of maybe 20 or so.
Well, if they keep going here, they're going to have a margin.
The only trouble was their first game was 7 up and 7 down, so they got a 0.
They're really starting.
So they need to get 20 in this game to have a chance to finish in the monies. But if you're going to get to 20, that's the way to start. 14-3 after 4 ends.
Yeah, it's not a bad lead, is it? Yeah, plenty of air. Home she comes. Yep.
6 ends. Sorry, not 4 ends. My fault. So the halfway mark. If they've got a lead of 11 halfway, they need to double that to 22.
Easier said than done.
Oh,
Can be done.
well, you picked up a 6. How many 6s do you pick up in a 12-end game? You don't. You pick up 1. That's it. You don't pick up 2 or 3. The standard of bowling out of these 4 bowls is not uneven. Just that Leon's played a couple of cracking bowls in there to edge out George's bowls. Both times George was holding shot the first time and second shot the second time, and he knocked it out for 3 and then knocked it out for 5. Oh, up the narrow side for Percy. His action when he bowls, to me, looks like he's trying to throw the ball forward.
Yeah, he's poking.
Doesn't look like he's trying to roll it.
Poking, not rolling. It's true. And a lot of bowlers do that. But it's like anything. If you're going to do that, you've got to be good at it.
Yeah, if you do the same every time.
Yeah, that's right. But you get better results by rolling. It's just a swoop.
Yes.
Swoop down, swoop out.
Well, even when Percy lets it go, because it's a little bit airborne, you've got to land it right on the axis or it's going to really wobble and to start off with.
True too. Yeah, you've got to make sure you've got it in there.
Yeah, not wasted.
Right.
He's missed his weight and line again. No, the weight's probably not as bad, but the line. One thing I've noticed with when they're using the arms, and I think it's applicable also when you're using your hands, you want the speed that you're delivering at to be constant just prior to release and just after release, so you can judge how far you're going to throw it every time. I hear people say, oh, you need to accelerate to get it there, but the trouble is if you're accelerating still through the release zone, very hard to judge how far it's going because the speed's changing all the time.
Yeah. But still, you're feeling the bowl at that time, and you can control it. Like if you're short, or you can put weight on because you're feeling the bowl when you're pushing it through that way.
Okay.
And if you're not feeling the bowl and you're just sort of plonking it down and letting it go, so you just can't correct. As I said before, it's the ABC of bowlers. Always be corrected. And you've got to be able to do that. And you can't do it if you've got nothing to correct it.
Okay. Makes sense.
Probably the only time today it made sense.
No, I know your enemies say that. No, it's all good. I'm still learning. You're always learning.
Well, when you get to my age, you just try to pass on. Oh,
If you can.
there it goes. Pass on the good bits that you've learned, and hopefully that helps.
Oh, it's well pointed here. Well pointed. Off the inside of that.
Through the gap, high. Still a good bowl. Really a perfect bowl onto the kitty.
Keep it out.
Yeah, mate, you're just not giving it the air.
Yeah. 7 bowls on the low side, 3 on the high side again. And one of the ones on the high side came from the low side narrow. No, I just had even up, put one on the narrow on the other side. Now there's 4 over there. Could get a great rub here.
Yep, yeah. Only way could.
I think they're all his 3 bowls that are around there. And he's got one at the back. And David's lit it up for his skip Leon. Better grass. Much better grass. He's tickled it through. Wow. Boom, boom. Now, who's got what at the back? David's got one back there just on the right as we view it. The light coloured bowler's that of George's. David's counting and go, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 bowls, but we've one down. So we got 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Yeah. That's ours coming in. If you hit that, that's great. If you're under it, you can take the shot bowl out. If you're good enough, you take the jack. It's all good in theory. Right out. Only give it enough green. Oh, it's narrow. It's very narrow. I'll tell you what, that's a good home for the white ball now.
Yeah, it's in the catching position.
I'd still be tempted to bowl in the head here with George's bowl. It's all right to put another one behind, but if he doesn't play weight, you've only got one bowl on the head. And if some way they get it out, it looks like a blocker as far as I'm concerned. Narrow again. Right out, what's Leon see? Yeah, he doesn't have the back bowl, so he can't play a lot of weight here.
It's just got to be accurate.
Yeah, maybe half a metre over. There is a gap to hit that through the backhand, but you've got to be perfect.
Got a bit of weight now to get through there. I haven't done too much.
Yeah, well, the bowl that's shot, he needs to move that about 3 or 4 bowls. That's about it, really. And that'll bring his other bowls into play, possibly give him 2 or 3. Any heavier than that, you touch that jack, you're probably not going to get the shot. He's thrown it out. It's coming. That might got a little wind gust, that one. That was actually a pretty good bowl out there. Yeah, that was a little unlucky. I'm not saying it would have hit the jack or sat the bowl, but it certainly got blown off course. Careful. One to Potter and Gibson. 7 ends, 5 ends to go. They've probably got to win the next 2 ends to have any chance in the game. And even then, they've got to pick up a multiple there somewhere of those 2 ends. Yeah, those flags are a bit more vigorous now in the background.
Boy, you can handle this one.
I thought that was Leon just down below us whistling after it got to the 14.
Yeah, he'd be pretty happy. He would like to have won last time. No, we've shortened it up.
Okay. Well,
Doing a bit of tactics.
they're not winning the longer end, so go in there and have a go at the shorter ends. I'm looking over the scores on that rink next to us. 11-1 after 6 ends. Good opener. Well done to Graham. Sending out in the wide hand. It still turns quite a bit even though it's a short end. Close. Close. Yeah. That's a nice little guide for Percy here, coming from this angle to bowl underneath that. Put another one in there. And he got a tickle on it. Right, that's out there a fair bit, that one.
Yeah, but
Look at the
gust. You get the big gust.
Yeah. Not hopeless back there in behind. I think with the short end like this, the jack's destined to move somewhere, especially with nothing in front of it at the moment. It's a clear run at it. Right, what have we got in the draw in this hand? Well, it's taking the turn here. Oh, jeez. But they are all his bowls in there, so they're probably holding 3. That was his lead. Graham Potter, who put the other 2 in there, and he split them with his bowl. Looking to take the jack out of there with a little bit of weight, and has knocked it straight back to him. Mind you, that's easy to move now. Probably 3 down, but it's a little easier to make something out of that than it was where it was before. Needs to be careful he doesn't move the jack back here. He needs to come round the outside and sit in behind. Would have been a lot easier to do that backhand, but he's done it forehand.
Excellent bowl.
Yeah, it's great there. I think I would have tried to bowl backhand there and cover that up. Cover the front of those bowls up.
We know Leon loves it.
Yeah, he's a little bit wide with this. May just stay in the rink. Yeah, I think it has. If he plays backhand and turns that dark coloured bowl over in front, makes it a little more difficult for them to move that jack back. But they've got that catcher right in behind. Playing forehand, you only have to snick the jack and you're down. Even if you sat on that front black bowl and turned the light coloured bowl in behind to stop it going through the gap.
Which it would. Yeah, there's a couple of offers there.
Okay, he's calling. It could happen here. He's calling him in around the back, but if he's a little bit short and narrow, he could do what I was talking about. Even though they're holding 3, he's got to change the head up. No, he's got behind, so it's no big deal. That's what his skip asked for. But it's such an inviting target. It's framed on either side. Gets there, it's got it. So then you got to get there.
What a bomb.
Okay. Okay. That's a little better for Potter and Gibson, even though they're only holding 2 now instead of 3. How's the weight? See, this is what I was looking at with the first bowl. He's done well there. That sort of bowl would have given some sort of chance of covering it. Trouble here is if he plays a bit of weight and he's a fraction wide, he takes that other bowl out of the head. So he's only playing enough. No, he needs to just play enough weight to be half a metre through. There's a lot of options from where they are there. Excuse me, he's going backhand. Okay.
How good is that?
Probably still got two.
Yeah, but put a ball in a position.
Just to roll it in there.
Leon, yeah, Leon could just touch that. And he'd have another.
Well, George needs to play almost an identical bowl, but actually roll the other bowl over in front of that. Or sit that bowl. Okay.
True. Yep. Can sit that.
George has only had just a year's training with the stick, so has he got the touch to do this sort of shot?
Well, as long as he knows to do that shot.
And Percy's going clear that one on the front so they don't roll it in, but you go to clear that and you hit on the wrong side of it, you knock it in for shot. Got to be playing backhand, can't be playing forehand. Okay. Not high enough. Weight was pretty good. Yeah, weight was pretty good. Oh, here goes Leon. He either turns that one in or it's just under it and sits the blue out. It's wide to start with. Will it turn? Will it turn? Got everything out except the one in the front. Well, only 5 bowls ago it was a cluster. Now there's hardly anything around the jack.
Yeah, he really misses the head.
Looks wide, but his bowls have been turning a fair bit. It's got a lot of weight. This could go anywhere. Oh, crikey. He's not touched anything. It doesn't really change the shot bowls. The way Leon's looking, I'd say they're down. David's left him with about 7 options there.
Yeah, there you go.
At the end of this bowl, we're about 2/3 of the way through the game. So if that margin's to increase, he probably needs to pick up a couple on this end. Then he's got 4 ends left to play. Yeah, it's just a bit heavy too. Okay, who's counting what? Hard to tell whose shot it is. Well, if that's a shot you can stab me, I thought probably the one on the... Oh, they already had 2. He's trying to draw more. 16-4. It was hard to tell what was shot there. It's camera angles.
Changed so much. They were all peppering it.
Right, that 2/3 of that green's now in shade.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit better.
Better with the all in shade, yeah. Four ends to go. We've got still a bit over half an hour left. It's going to be tight. I'll just make it. Sort of 8 or 9 minutes an end. That's without going and looking at the head. or calling in markers. Stayed fairly short.
That's from the other rink. They have a Hodgson. She's going quite well.
Nice opener.
Yeah, very good.
All right, the Fusion 4s, they're a little bit narrow, but we've seen bowls stay on that line. The breeze has held them up.
Yeah, well, he's done that a couple of times.
Yeah, that's...
It's fine. You have to have the weight to go with it.
Yep. It's a good weight again. Just coming through. A little bit more bowl than that would have helped. What have you done this time, Graham?
Nothing much again, I don't think.
Just lost his weight. And nuisance bowls too.
Yeah, well, the one on the back end you've got to draw around. So, I guess the one on the forehand you've got to go under.
A little bit of breeze picked up, a little gust coming through. See the flag just swirling around in the back right hand of the screen.
Yes. Starting to drop the temperature a bit.
Now what you're watching here is the third game of the afternoon in the three sections, sections 1, 2 and 3, 12 in section 1, 12 in section 2 and 14 in section 3. Top two in each section get paid. This is the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championship Open Pairs, hosted by Club Tweed, organised by Maroon Arm Bowling Association. And they've had 4 good days of bowls, and this is the finale today. All players are playing, there's no knockout. You get ranked on your wins, margins, and then ends, if necessary. Going into this final round in Section 1, local Doug Kleinhans was leading with 2 wins and a margin of 19. In Section 2, Gordon Wood was leading with 2 wins and a margin of 7. And in the third section, Colin Bray was leading with 2 wins and a margin of 25. There was only 2 winners in the first 2 divisions and 3 winners in the third division that have won both games this morning.
That's a better bowl.
Well, George has put one in there, probably just out of shot. And that was the bowl of David Tomlin's that's next door to his. First bowl of the end. How strong is that wind now? We'll soon see. Yeah, yeah, the camera's doing well to stay there. And yet at this end, there's hardly anything. Let he go around it and he's gone under it. That's not their best end in terms of drawing to the jack.
No, it's not. It's not. A few wayward.
Maybe after two games earlier today and 3 games yesterday, maybe a little fatigue has set in.
I'm sure it has.
What's a good remedy for that? Maybe
Fatigue.
quite ale or 2?
No, just don't play as many games.
That's not a remedy.
It is. That's my remedy. That's why I'm not playing this year. Well, we'll see whether he holds this time. I think he is.
Good path.
holding this
And the weight,
top bowl.
mint.
Yeah,
Well done, Dave.
accept that.
So that's right next to the first bowl he put down. May have two. Very close.
This bowl behaves the same. See if he holds.
Got to get there. Got to get there. That's 3 bowls well short.
Yeah,
Not helping the skip there at all, Percy. I just saw in the background Shane O'Toole, one of the local members, walk by and encourage a couple of his members. He's a good skip down here. Still like him, even though he's a left-hander, it's all right. I'll let him off.
you're treading on dangerous ground there.
Right, Graham.
Come on, John, get him up, mate. Get him in the head.
Okay, through the gate.
So the wind's taken that.
Oh, yeah.
But look at that.
They're not,
Look at that. Who said this game was fair?
I guess it's in the rules, but it hurts.
Yeah. He did give an apology with his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sportsmanship.
Right, so there's 2 bowls at the back here. They're both bowls of Leon's. He doesn't mind playing a little bit of weight, so anything under this shot bottle send the jack hurtling back towards his 2 bowls. I don't see a draw happening.
Well, it's going to be a bit difficult.
Wind's got that as well. Here comes another one into the head, and that one, bang, bang. Well, he's probably rolled into second shot anyhow. There's no damage done. I'd be sticking something around the back here if I was George, but I don't think he's even gone close to that. Not much value there. Now, will the wind leave it so he can hit something? There you go.
Yeah, you got the shot. How do you work that one out?
Well, there's 2 bowls on that end. You can't draw the diagrams for it. They're 1 down, okay. There must be someone in the next rink that's in their eye behind where they're trying to bowl. Especially when the jack's gone over towards that edge. I'll fancy that. Just the one.
Lucky.
$17 for.
Oh, they all count.
3 to go. Well, that margin of 20 is looking plausible. 3 ends. Need another 7. 2 wins and a margin of 20. Don't know. Again, it depends on the 2 teams that were undefeated. If they both win, then it's fruitless.
But here's a scenario. We could be watching now the other teams. Well, a bit better now because the
Tool shade, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's a fairly long end. That'll sort them out.
yeah, and this movie very hard to pick your grass on.
Just trying to get the score on the headers rink over there, but the partner's standing directly in front of that scoreboard. Hello. Hello. Well, anywhere between the tee and the ditch is good.
That's a good. Oh, yeah. Certainly usable bowl.
There we go. The score over there is 12-2. We've got a margin of 10. They've already got 2 wins, so they're 10 up there.
That's a shot.
They're 10 behind the leading group in Section 1. Doug Kleinhand's had a 19 margin. Heather had a 9 margin, so depending on what's happening in that other match, if it's tight, then they're in the run for the top prize. Unfortunately, the rinks in the other divisions are over in rink 19, 15, 13 and 10, and I can't see them from here. That's almost down on the bottom green. I might just have a quick look because Doug's over on rink 4. Just had a quick look on rank 4 and it looks like Doug's team's leading 12-2 as well.
Very good scores.
So they haven't caught up any ground with that 10 margin for Heather. But if he's leading 12-2, then he looks almost certain to win Section 1. And this game's a little bit lopsided now.
Got the kitty. Oh, yeah.
He's got a black mark on the scoreboard on the back there, on the beach.
Yeah, all the way through.
But for them, it's all about making numbers now, the last 3 ends. So the match is going in their favour regardless. And they're trying to squeeze another half a dozen to 10 shots out of these last 3 ends if they can. I'll tell you what, if George keeps doing that, they're going to be lucky to win the ends. Well, he hasn't made the gap again, has he? Just don't build it up too much, George. In behind's lovely. Well, in behind, yeah, almost.
Well,
that's a better 2 than it was.
yeah.
Breeze has picked up now. It's blowing in a good 10k, gusting a little stronger than that. So it's become difficult to control what you're doing with the bowl. Greens are running at about 13, 13 and a half. They've been very pleasant all 4 days. They've got a nice green tinge to them. Look like they'll be great for the winter. Of course, we've got the national championships for the Queensland arm bowling. All the teams from Queensland playing later in the year on these rinks. Watch Dave Tomlin's bowl come down. Looks very good here. Could just snick the jack. And that's a great home. Anything onto the shot bowl's likely to send the jack in that direction.
Okay. Got another addition, have we? Or is it a little bit too much?
Yeah, maybe in there for 3.
Yep.
As I said, though, they're chasing numbers here, so if they do drop a 2 or 3, they're risking trying to get a 2 or 3 themselves. Just getting the single is probably not going to help their cause at this stage. And then hopefully other results going their way. This looks better.
Making contact.
Yep, it's going to be second shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's called second shot. I'd be surprised if he plays his shots on the backhand here. Gee, that's hung out there, the breeze. The wind's just kept it on that line all the way down.
Still on again, just to touch the kitty in.
Yeah.
Give him, make the score look a little bit more respectable.
And the live streaming on the Bowls channel. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out in terms of doing that. That's Goodridge Australia, for all their bowling apparel. Taylor Bowls, the Lawn Bowls company with accessories to go with it. Max Australia for the canopies that go over some of the artificial greens and also the shade structures around the grass greens. Hunter Bowls in Sydney at Castle Hill, their main store. Everything for bowls, including the bowling arms you're seeing. And Club Tweed for their help in hosting the titles here and looking after us in terms of hospitality. Good looking bowls, going to move something.
Oh, just missed.
And that wasn't the something I thought it was going to hit.
Yeah, he's never far away, usually makes contact.
Yeah, this is interesting because he just touches the jack here. They could get 3, and he's played a brilliant bowl. Brilliant bowl. Okay. Well, you could land the. Well, I'd be calling forehand here because you can push the back bowl in there and separate both those bowls. The jack doesn't move, and you got shot.
Absolutely.
You might even get 2 shots.
That's the perfect ball.
If you miss it, you're liable to touch the blue and move the jack back as well. So he's got a chance now to pick some up. That was an excellent bowl that was put in, though. Is it narrow? The breeze is holding it. The breeze is holding it. It's got the blue bowl. Back goes the jack. Oh, give me a break. You got to call him on the backhand again now, not on the forehand.
Yeah, Leland's playing very well. They're very consistent.
Yeah. Just play the same bowl you just played. Play the backhand and draw it. Okay, this is the last bowl in end 10. Only 2 to go after this to complete 2 days of open pairs play in the Queensland Arm Bowls State Championship titles. Open pairs it is. A little narrow. May sit the front bowl and knock it out, but I think it's under that. 2 away.
Going to make it hard to get
A margin now, yep. Yep. However, I still like the format that all bowlers are here for the 3 days, and they'll go in and when they finish, most of them will stay. They had a big lunch upstairs, had a good chat amongst themselves, and the committee was reaffirmed for the next 12 months, and they were all mentioned to the members that were there. A lot of these players played in the singles the first 2 days on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Final away won by Colin Pritchard. Played some wonderful bowls.
Yeah, unfortunately had to be called away. I've had some issues. That's what happens because the age group are playing.
I would venture to say that probably each year in this event, by the time you get to the last couple of games, there'll be some sort of injuries or woes, and you'd need some reserves to fill in spots.
Well,
It's just the nature.
That's why the Nationals have 15 players and 2 spares, always.
for that reason.
Yes.
You've had quite a few.
Usually need them.
You had quite a few nominate for this year's
Oh,
team.
yes.
40,
crikey,
40 plus, 45 or more
So
for 15, 17 spots.
it's a big job and an extremely important job to pick the right ones that are in form. And having the state championships like we're having now, it gives the selectors an indication of how the form's going with quite a few of the players.
And specifically because you're playing at Club Tweed and we'll be at this venue later in the year.
Exactly. Yep. Same.
And there'd probably be a few players make themselves available simply because the competition's in Queensland this coming year versus, travelling. Some people are not that kosher on travelling that far south to play.
No, but once you get older, travelling becomes a problem. And we do have an age, older age in the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There are issues. But with the two spares, usually get away with it.
Yes. Righto, I think they're one down going into this head. That last bowl of David's was outstanding.
Yeah, looking good. Yeah, we'll turn around that.
It's not lost back there, especially on a short end. All right, Leon's going to go forehand and just go over and nudge that bowl onto the jack. There's a better bowl than that. Yeah, the wind's going to keep that out. It's not coming back. Well, Leon, a little more grass. It's about the right weight if you get a little bit further out because it's got to travel that little bit further. Well, that looks undercooked.
Yeah, didn't give it enough warmth.
Righto, boys, let's go and fix up what the skips did. Rightio. Here we go, back in the sheltered area by the clubhouse. Green runner around 13 still, later in the afternoon. They gave it a roll after the first two games.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah.
Speed it up.
It's got to hang on here. The breeze has got to keep it there.
She's a ducky.
Yeah, might come into play. Get through there and touch the jack.
Well, certainly there waiting.
It's hard because there's not a lot of movement on this side, so you really got to skim along the edge of the bowls that are currently there to catch the jack.
Yeah, which can be done. Can he do it?
There it is going down.
Why? He's gone good.
Well, that's at least two.
Why did he swing his arms? That was,
Oh, he's playing for the cameras.
I can see that. Look at me.
Yeah. There we go, in with the chalk again on the end of the... That intrigues me, that's good. Bit of innovation.
I'm going to call him a poser when I see him. Leon, you're a poser with that chalk. He'll probably say, why do you want one, Goodrich?
He'll never stop using it if you tell him that. Okay, want something back here in case I touch the jack.
Yeah, help.
Dave's going, I'd rather put another one in near the jack. We can get a few more. But the margin's only 11. If they were sitting around 19, 20 at this stage, you'd probably try and back them to miss that to pick up an extra few. Oh, they already had one back there, so you had to cover the one that's back there. Fair enough. You're probably 2 or 3 down back there. And it's not that hard a target to aim at there. There's not much you have to get around to get to that shot bowl.
You know, the decisions you've got to make as a skip when it's getting to the crunch end, and you need to get numbers, and the back is not really favourable, and sometimes you gamble,
Yes.
and sometimes you gamble wrong.
You gamble
And
it.
they pick it up and back it goes, and end of story. Yeah, very good, very good. Which one was knocked up there?
I'm going to say that's one of Percy's. So I reckon they've got one now. And the worst scenario is I think both the bowls in behind are both from the same team, from George and Graham. So any touch on the shot bowl is going to give them probably 3. So I think
Last.
Leon may need to stay away from this. Unless he can get in behind, which I think he has. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Clever.
Yeah, I think I may have gone the other hand and come under that outside bowl, but at least he's got something in behind now. If it comes off that shot bowl and hits the one beside it and ricochets, he's in good shape. Oh, really? Oh, they must be holding one if he's gone there.
Right. Yeah, well, they're the same colours to me, so I couldn't tell.
Well, Leon's are a little bit bluer. The other 2 are black. And one of the black ones has got a big coloured rim on it. A yellow rim, which is Percy's bowl. So I think they picked up 1 there. Take them to 18-6. Last end of a big 4 days of bowls.
Yeah.
And might have a rest day tomorrow, I think, a few of these boys and ladies.
Yeah, I think they deserved it.
Still got 9 minutes before they blow the bell, so they're going to make it. They'll probably finish pretty close to the bell at the end of this 12th end. Might have a quick look at those ranks on 2 and 4 and see how they're going for the Section 1 title. Heather's leading 19-2 on her rank. With 2 ends to go, so she's got 17 margin. And Doug's over in his rink leading. And he's just drawn shot. And they've got... Can't quite see the score, but I think it was 12-2, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I think Doug's still on the box seat.
Heather picks up a couple more and he drops a couple.
Still a bit of breeze out there as well. Oh, they've been nasty to me. It's the last end they're playing and they've turned the scoreboard back to zeros. I think I saw 12-2, but I might be wrong. Might have been 14-2.
Okay, let's see what's happening here. He's waving his hand.
Got a driving lead here.
Yeah, and he's saying, oh, probably went a bit narrow.
No, he'll still be holding 1. That's Graham's bowl out to the left as we look at it. You can see the difference on the rims now, yes. Yeah, one's got a sort of yellowy rim and the other's got a white rim.
Well,
back David for shot there, and
Yeah, I think you're right.
and Leon thinks the same as he wanders back down, indicating to Graham. So as we're playing the last end, I'll just update you on those sections. The two leaders in Section 1 were Doug Kleinhans and Heather Hodgson. I think Doug looks like he may have picked up the title there. They're both going to win those games. Section 2, Gordon Wood had 2 wins and a 7 margin. Deborah Handley had 2 wins and a 3 margin there, over on ranks 15 and 19, which we can't see, so I can't update you on that. And in Section 3, while we see Leon Bowler backhand, Cole Bray had 2 wins and a margin of 25. The next to him was Walter Schmidt with 2 wins and 14, and Norman Hockey with 2 wins and 13. So as long as Cole wins, I don't think they'll catch him out there. It's been wonderful to watch these 2 days of open pairs bowls. They played yesterday 3 games, and depending on the scores, they went into 3 different sections today. Almost got him. Probably second shot. And this match here, I'm going to say Leon Dwyer and Dave Tomlins, they are going to win 2 out of 3 matches, and they'll probably have a margin of around a dozen, maybe even a couple more than that, depending on how this end finishes, which will put them high up in Section 1. I'm going to say maybe in the top 3 or 4, because there are only 2 teams that have won the first 2 games. So they'll be in a tie for those that win 2 out of 3. It's all down to the margins and then the ends. Right, a bit of head scratching going. Not a bad head. They've had better heads than this today, but they are bowling almost the full length of the green.
Well, considering the wind that we've had today, there's been some good tight heads.
Yep. Got 4 minutes before they blow the siren, so I think they'll get these bowls done right about that time frame. Might be signing the scorecard as they blow the siren.
Nice beer here, Leon. Nice beer. Nice cold beer. So we don't
Do you have many people at your club, Roger, that help people with the arms? There's 1 or 2 coaches, or just yourself?
Well, in every club, everyone's a coach, as you know.
Right.
And
You don't have to ask them. They'll give you some sort of advice.
that's
And you know what? It's generally worth what they pay for it.
But as far as being, I think, well, I know for a fact there's 2 bowling arm coaches there.
Okay, that's good.
But of course, a baker can, if you're not sure, can coach the arm bowlers as well, but he prefers me to do it.
I think if I was bowling with an arm, learning to bowl with it, I'd go to someone who already bowls with the arm. I think they know a few more things about how to use those than just a bowler. If you're after tactics and strategy,
Oh, yeah,
by all
they're
means,
the boys.
all of those are good. But actually using the arm itself. So I still think they're one up the Tomlins and Dwyer combination, even though Leon wasn't so confident. He called, you're 1 down, I think. But I don't think he's 1 down. I think he's 1 up. He's having a good look at it now. I think he'll reassess. Yep. All right, so they may pick 1 or 2 up here. I don't see a lot more option there in terms of getting numbers. The bowls are fairly well spread. You don't really have a cluster anywhere that you can roll a jack into. Oh, come on, we don't want to fight between the skip and the lead. There's Heather over there on the right of the screen. The skip who will probably run second in the overall competition in Section 1.
Good afternoon, members and guests. The time is 4 p.m. and members have the hour has now commenced.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Some movement. Some movement. What's happening to it?
Well,
It's in.
That's shot.
That gives them probably 2 now. But you've got an open run at the jack.
And he was
We got, and just as we're about to close up, we got David Baker back online. He's saying, "Hello, Rog. What's going on?"
Well, not a lot. I'm just having a great time here with Aussie, and seen some great bowls.
I know George put one in the head there with his light blue Hens lights. I still think they're 2 down. Okay, so he needs to take the jack here, or there's going to be a gap of 14 in this game. Last bowl of the day. Let it be one you remember. Let it be one you remember.
Could be off that. Nothing.
Oh, he got one out of
Yeah,
there.
got one out.
No, kept him under the 20. Great afternoon of bowls.
Yeah, great afternoon indeed.
Well, it's been a pleasure being involved with the Queensland Arm Bowlers State Championships, both in the singles yesterday and the day before, and the open pairs yesterday and today. Had the pleasure of Roger Goodridge sitting beside me. I thank our sponsors, the Goodridge Australia, for all their bowling apparel. TaylorMade Bowls, Max Australia with their bowling canopies, Hunter Bowls from Sydney with Castle Hill, Club Tweed for hosting the event. I'm Ozzy Moore. I'd also like to thank Dwayne, our technician, for all the work he's done, and thank you, Roger, for your commentary out today.
Oh, well, thank you too, Ozzy, as being the lead man. It's a pleasure to work with you.
Very good. Hope you enjoy your bowls.